Let's continue with verse 11, Genesis 39, verse 11. But one day, when he went into the house to do his work, and none of the men of the house was there in the house, she caught him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." But he left his garment in her hand and fled and got out of the house. Okay, so Tamar in the first chapter, previous chapter, making a plan to do the right thing. Here, Potiphar's wife, the exact opposite, making a plan to do the wrong thing. I'm sure she organized to be alone with Joseph, right? That she made sure that the servants won't be there, so she can bring this. I don't think this was like on the spur of the moment kind of thing. Oh, they're all gone. Okay, now I have my chance. I mean, I'm pretty sure, especially the way she got his clothes. I mean, it would not have been that easy to just get to robe him, to put it like that. There had to be some other way how she could have caught him in such a way so that she could get the clothes. It's not just stripping off the clothes or something like this, because that would not work. If she tore his clothes, then the husband said, "Oh, the clothes are torn. This is not you tore it off." So the clothes had to be not torn. So she had to devise a plan in such a way so she can get this cloth or clothes of him without tearing it, so that she can use it then as proof for. So it's like, if Joseph is not going to lie with me, if I can't have him, no one can have him. So she would have organized everything. So all the servants are gone. She would organize everything so she could surprise Joseph maybe, and in that way get the clothes out of him. Maybe it's a place where he was undressing some part to put on something else or something. We don't exactly know, and she caught him then by surprise, taking it, whichever she knew how. She made the plan. She brought out this plan. The garment was left in her hand, and he fled, got out of the house. Right? There's no mention of her crying, because why would she cry? Okay, because Joseph wasn't doing anything, right? In a storytelling afterwards, we're going to see how she mentions if he did something and she cried. Joseph he just wanted to get away. He didn't want any of this. I think he could see that this is going on, right? There's no one, and she got the clothes. How he was surprised, he understood, right? She again asked him and tried to induce him to just maybe just lie with her, not doing anything else more than that. We don't. I mean, again, it's not that clear. It seems as if she kind of tried to downplay maybe. But anyhow, she did everything so as to get into Joseph's pants, to put it like that. But he was not going to have any of that, so he fled. Okay. Verse 13. And as soon as she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and had fled out of the house, she called to the men of her household and said to them, "See, he has brought among us a Hebrew to laugh at us. He came in to lie with me, and I cry out with a loud voice." Okay, so she saw. Okay, it didn't go according to plan. He fled, but it kind of went according to plan because she had the clothes. So again, her plan is she wants him, but if she can't have him, no one will get him. No other girl's going to get him. And she had what she wanted. Yes, not what she wanted. She wanted to have intercourse with him, but the second best thing, she got the clothes. So if he's not going to give, no one will have it from him. And of course, she has a proof. And now she shouts out. So in fact, he first fled, then she shouted out, and now she's going to make as if she shouted out and then he fled because she shouted out, which is a lie. Okay, and how she is then going to say, right? Speaking about he, that is Potiphar, brought a Hebrew, right? Not a slave, not a Hebrew. So not one like you, not an Egyptian slave, a Hebrew, right? So playing on that as well. He's from a different nationality. We need to hate them more. I mean, anything going wrong, a foreigner doing anything wrong in the country, then immediately as if all the foreigners are like that. We have lots of problems with like that in South Africa, where blacks killing other blacks from other parts of Africa because one person, or the stories are just spread that one of those people from that country, so Ethiopia or Somalia or somewhere, did something wrong, and then they burned down their shops there in the towns, etc. Right? So she's playing on that this year as well. It's not like he's not an Egyptian like you. He's despised. He's a Hebrew. Okay, and he was brought there to laugh at us. Now remember when Isaac and Rebecca were there in Abimelech's place, then Isaac said that told Rebecca to just say that you are my sister, and then it was mentioned that he saw them laughing at each other or with each other, kind of idea. Okay, so here as well, again, this idea of laughing with us. So surely this idea of laughing has some sexual innuendo, some sexual meaning, which we don't really know what it means. But it must have that kind of meaning, because it is in this context and in that context as well, because there the laughing at showed Abimelech that they are actually husband and wife, and here as well the idea of trying to rape her, that he laughed at her. So is it that he denigrated, that he made fun of her? No, I mean this is ultimately, yeah, sure, would kind of, but it's more that he tried to rape her. That is what she's implying, making fun of her by doing this. Okay. And but she is basically saying her husband is guilty because her husband brought this guy in, and they would sure agree, because a few of them would have lost their positions of power because of Joseph. Maybe there were a few of them who were in different leadership positions or power positions there in the household, and now since Joseph got it all of them were demoted, and so that would play into their. She is using that fact to her advancement, to get them on her side. All these things, right? So easily to get the other slaves on her side against a fellow slave. Okay, because most likely they already were angry or hateful of Joseph, like his brothers were, right? So the same kind of hate towards him for his success, his handsomeness, handsomeness. In this case now it's mentioned why she wanted him, but the success would play a role in why they didn't like him, like the dreams, like the love of his father, like all those other things, the stories he told, and truths about the brothers played into their hatred for him. Here again the same kinds of reasons, and he's done nothing wrong, like there, like here. So the fact that clearly showed here he did nothing wrong, you can then as well draw the conclusions, and from the previous, put back that into the previous chapter where his brothers hated him, where I show that Moses did everything to prove that there's nothing to do with Joseph being guilty. They didn't hate him because he did something wrong. They hated him because of their hatred, their sin. Like exactly the same thing happening here. So these two stories being set in such a way, connected in such a way as well, go again to prove that this was as well the reason. Nothing that Jacob or Joseph did wrong was the reason for their hatred. No excuse for them to hate him. Like she, no excuse. Like for the slaves joining up against him, no excuse. Okay? Joseph is in the right. They are all in the wrong. Their reasons are wrong. Just reasons. Okay, and she cried out with a loud voice. Verse 15, and as soon as he heard that I lift up my voice and cried out, he left his garment beside me and fled and got out of the house. Okay, so the fact that the garment was left, so like the garment left beside her, so he would have taken off the garment, folded it up, put it next to her. So in this process of leaving the garment, taking it off and putting it next to her, why didn't she then run out already? Why not shout when she saw that he's starting doing it? But anyhow, she is trying to imply that, okay, this all came from his side. He even pulled out, took off his. She did not take it off. She did, because it's not ripped, right? He took it off. Because this was his intention. Maybe she can imply that she didn't know this is what he's going to. She trusted him. She didn't know this is like when he was taking off the garment. This is now what he's going to do. Okay, and then after he did this, it was like, sure, now she's taken it back. Oh, now she's shouting, because now all of a sudden she understands this actually wants to rape her. Okay, and then she shouts out. Okay, so yeah, this is understandably all a lie, but this is how she's trying to imply that she is this innocent bystander. She would have never thought that this guy would do something like this, so therefore she allowed him to take off his clothes, and then when he tried, now it's like, oh no, and shouting. Okay, and then lo and behold, Joseph didn't expect that, so he runs out, according to her, which we know is a lie. Okay, so he didn't take his clothes and ran out, kind of. He just was so shocked that he ran off.